Okay, homework for Wednesday, March 16th. You're doing page 81, number 2, talking about all the cyclists. So for cyclist A, you need to make sure you wrote an equation. For B, we need an equation and a table. And for C, a table. And then for D, you need to write an equation. So if you don't already have those, pause the video and do that now on your own. Okay, for cyclist A, they gave me a table, so I'm going to find the equation by putting in my carets. So it looks like my slope is 1/2, because 1 divided by 2 is 1/2, x plus 0. So this means that cyclist A can go 1/2 meter per second. Okay, because we're talking about time in seconds and distance in meters. So you can go 1/2 meter per second. Now let's do cyclist B. Bob has cycled 12 meters in past 6 seconds. Okay, so we know that all of them started at 0, 0 because when you're running a race, you're always going to start at 0, 0. So we have 0, 0. I'm going to write my table. And then they gave me in 6 seconds, he's gone 12 meters. Now when I do my carets, I have 12 divided by 6, which is 2. So his equation is y equals 2x. So he can go 2 meters per second. Okay, now for cyclist C, we want to create a table because they gave us the equation. You could do this in 2 different ways. So I have minute or seconds, and I have meters. Now you could have realized that this is the same as the change in y divided by change in x. So you could have had your x go up by 3 and your y go up by 1, because then it's a change in y divided by change in x is 1/3. So you could have done it that way. Or, let me write another one over here. You could have gone, make the y go up by 1/3 each time. So at 0, 0, and at 1 he's at 1/3, and at 2 he's at 2/3, and at 3 he'd finally get 1 meter. So cyclist C can go 1/3 meter per second. Okay. Now cyclist D, in order to write the equation, I have to put in a slope triangle. So let me change my color. So I'm going to go here to here. And I'm going up 2 and over 3. So I have y equals rise over run x. So D can go 2/3 meter per second. Okay, but the actual question was to put the cyclists in order from slowest to fastest. So I have 2/3 per meter, I have 1/3 per meter, per second, 2 meters per second, or 1/2 meter per second. Well, I know my fastest right away is 2 meters per second. He can go the farthest in 1 second. So he's going to be at the bottom. That was cyclist B. He's 4th. He's the fastest. Now the slowest, 2/3, 1/3, and 1/2. So you guys should be able to think about what these are in decimal form. I already know that 1/3 is slower than 2/3 because they're the same fraction, or they have the same denominator. But 1/2 is equal to 0.5, while 1/3 is equal to 0.33333, and 2/3 is equal to 0.66666. So I know that 1/3 would be the slowest because it's 0.333. So cyclist C is the slowest. And the next would be cyclist A, and then D. So I have slowest is C, and the fastest is B, so go C, A, D, B. Alright, make sure you have all your answers correct and that you have each part of the problem. You should have equations, you should have tables, and I will see you tomorrow.